Hi everyone, and welcome back to the OneNote Class Notebook series on your Mac. In this video I'm going to show you how to use the Class Notebook tab, which is a new feature in the summer of 2016 that Microsoft has released to help the flow of classwork. Now let's say, for example, that you wanted to send students a reflection prompt for them to complete in their own individual notebooks. Now it would be real tedious for me to click through even 12, not to mention 25 or even 30 students, and paste that prompt into each of their notebooks. Now, what I can do instead, thanks to the Class Notebook tab, is I can use the command of distribute a page. And what that'll do is copy a page into all of my students' notebooks who are enrolled in this class notebook, and I can tell that command what section to place that into. So in the content library, I'm going to first create a section called Reflections. And this first reflection, I'm going to put a due date of January 1st of 2020. In the body of the note, I'm then going to paste in my journal reflection. And from this point, I can select that top tab in the OneNote Class Notebook app. I can click on Class Notebook, and then I can tell OneNote to distribute this page. Now, what it's showing me is that I have already created, through the online Office 365 steps, 2 sections in all of my students' notebooks. And you'll notice that I don't have a reflection tab for them where this would necessarily fit. It's not a handout. It's not specifically about vocabulary. When I created this class notebook, I was missing my section for homework. So I'm going to cancel this, and this is not something that's hard to fix, because in the class notebook tab, I also have the option to create a new section that goes to all of my students' notebooks. So my new section is going to be called Homework. That's going to take just a minute to distribute. Notice how the syncing icon is showing that work is being done between your app and the online server. Once that spinning arrow is done, it'll disappear, and then students will actually see all of that content start to appear on their MacBooks as well. So once everybody's blue spinning arrows are done syncing, that means that everybody's up to date. I'm going to go ahead and distribute this page. And now you'll see that I have the Homework tab as an option. When I click Distribute, OneNote is already working to copy that page over to my 2 students here, Cheryl Means, who, when I click on her Homework tab, has the reflection page added in there. And then over on my other student, Christine Horowitz, you click on Homework, and then you'll see that the reflection is pasted in there as well. So I didn't have to go in, copy and paste it to each of those sections. OneNote did it for me through the Distribute page. It also created a new section for me, which can be useful when you change semesters, or perhaps you start a new unit and you want to create a new section for students to keep their things organized. Now let's say that one of my students began to make a response. Here is my response. Okay, so I'm going into Cheryl's and doing her work for her. But nevertheless, once I'm ready to review student work, anything that I have distributed through this function, distribute page, I can go back and review using OneNote tools. Clicking on the Review Student Work pops out a menu over here. It asks me what I want to review, and you'll see that I've only distributed one item in my homework section. That's Reflections. I click on that, and then I decide how I want to go through my student work. By default, class notebooks are organized by first name, but I can switch that to last name, which is what matches my PowerSchool roster. So it's real easy for me to then click through and see who completed their work. As I click on name, it switches sections without having to switch by jumping up to the top level and making extra clicks. So the review student work is a great way to go through and do a notebook check on students. Also in here is a quick way to browse through student notebooks. So very similar to the review student work is a way to go ahead and just do a quick look over of everybody's notebooks and navigate through that without jumping up to the top level and re-navigating. One of the last things, and this is more for teachers who are using multiple class notebooks for different sections, and that is, say I create a new item in my content library. Maybe I make a Unit 1 folder with a few different pages. Okay, I'm going to use the copy to content library command to copy this new section, okay, so Unit 1, to a content library of another notebook. So let's say, for example, this Training 101 notebook that I made earlier, I can click on that class notebook to make sure that a Unit 1 section is also copied over to class notebooks. This does some mass copying for me so that I don't have to do it by hand. So that Unit 1 section is now going to be in my Training 101 content library. Thanks for watching this short tech tutorial. If you're interested in this or other educational technology topics, be sure to check out my YouTube channel or website.